Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joey. Welcome back for another video here on my channel. Today, I'm giving you guys two meta Phenmor builds in 2025. Now, this is a weapon I really haven't touched since it came out, all those years back. This is the latest weapon, aside from the Inodem, that I haven't covered in that initial run of Incarnon weapons that came with Cavalero. So I really wanted to do it here because I know a lot of new players are going to get their hands on this. They're going to come looking for builds for this. I noticed a lot of people were watching my Felarks and my Latum videos, so I figured new players were looking at these. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of builds here. So what I have for you guys today, first of all, is my Incarnon traits. Obviously, Evolution 1 is just the Incarnon itself. Here we go for 20% fire rate. I like the fire rate. You can go for projectile speed here if you want. Also here, I would maybe recommend going for this on the second build, as the first build utilizes Deadhead, and Deadhead will remove all of our recoil pretty much, so it's going to remove 50%, but it's more than enough to where we can use the gun without any issues whatsoever. You guys can totally go for recoil reduction X-less mods if you want to. I opted for terminal velocity on this build, but it's totally up to you, so I just wanted to point this out here as an option for you guys. So as far as the rest of them go, I run 50% magazine capacity. The rest of them are kind of bad. It has a really big magazine. 45 shots. You're not really going to shoot the whole thing to get the Incarnon thing up. This really doesn't come in handy that much. And then on headshot, I mean, you can go for this if you would like to. I just went for the Mad Cap. It's kind of the same situation with the Furious. Go for this if you want to. I actually use this on my Furious, even though it's only 10%. But I'm just going for the Mad Cap here. I like it better. Then we're going to go minus crit plus status chance, because this is a devouring attrition weapon, so we're going to be going for this here. The other ones are plus crit plus status. If you wanted to opt for crit, this will get you up to 30% crit. If you really wanted to make a crit focus build, you can, but the rest of the final Incarnons and everything don't really allow for really crit focus builds. So yeah, that's that. Then you have the Incarnon adaptive charge if you want to go for that too. It's bad, so we'll just go for this here instead. Then we're going to use devouring attrition here, as the other two are enemies suffering from fewer than 3 status effects will receive 100% critical damage. The only time I could see you going for this is if you went for like a straight up acuity build on here. If you want like straight flat damage, you really didn't weigh into any elements, and you just wanted to do a big number with a lot of critical damage, I can see you going for this. But other than that, this really doesn't seem good whatsoever, because status is amazing in Warframe. We use primers. We're always using status-based weapons. It's really good. And then the headshot damage, you could find a use for this, but today we're not using it. And then, like we have here, we have devouring attrition. Now, the important thing about devouring attrition, this is 2,000% damage. This 2,000% damage is multiplicative with base damage mods, or mods that increase the base damage of the weapon. So this is really, really nice. So you'll see on the first build here, we're going to be, well, actually, I'll show you the Blast Corrosive build first. First, we have this Primary Merciless build here. This build, we use Primary Merciless because it's a blast build. Really, really simple. We have Galvanized Chamber, Galvanized Aptitude. This is additive damage, but it's going to help when we do the multiplicative damage from Devouring Attrition, which is really nice. We have Hellfire on here, plus Cryo for Blast. We have Shred on here for Fire Rate and Punch Through. We run Electric and Toxin, and you guys can go for full Elemental weighting. This is just like, you can see how heavy it's forming for me right now. So I just have the 60-60 here, but you can go for the full 90 if you want to. Then we have Stormbringer here. I'm using regular cryo rounds because I didn't want to form this too. You can go for like prime cryo rounds here if you want to, but you can still see the power it has with regular cryo rounds. And then I just have Bane Grenier. Terminal velocity, like I said, you can go for minus recoil if you want here. I wanted the projectile speed, so I went for the projectile speed. So I'm showing you guys this here. Now this Phenmor build is very, very solid. You're going to need a couple of stacks. You get new Incarnon form really, really easily. And now you can see we have a stack. We're starting to do a little bit more damage. Now, this isn't the premier build I would say that you want to bring to like cap or anything. It probably will still work because the weapon itself just does so much damage. But I didn't design it around that. This one's just designed around like the AoE factor of a lot of the builds I've been putting on my channel recently. You could just really get really good at AoE, especially the fact this is a projectile-based weapon. As you can see, it takes time to hit the wall. So you can use something like Zataz, and Zataz really is even stronger, not just with blast, but with projectile weapons. So Zataz will do things like this. And you could just, you can wipe crowds really easily, so this is a really strong weapon. You can AoE with this build really easily. It's really, really strong. Like I said, I don't even have the primed mod format onto this, but this is really, really good. I do have Arcane Avenger on my frame. Let me take this off so it doesn't mess with the showcase for Devouring Attrition on the other setup. But yeah, so this is the other setup here. This is the one I would say, like, if you're going to go, like, do, like, level cap or something, you can go for this here. You don't even need to run Galvanized Chamber. You can swap for Split Chamber if you don't want to double stack. You can just worry about Aptitude if you want to. But I'm leaving Galv Chamber on here for now. But whatever you want. The Expo slot, we go for Deadhead. It's going to kill recoil, give us 360% damage. Flat damage, that's going to be multiplicative with Devouring Attrition. And then we get 30% headshot multiplier, which is really, really nice. So simple build here. We go for Galvanized Chamber, we're running Corrosive here, we have Galvanized Aptitude, like I said, this is additive. We have Shred here for fire rate with punch through, we run some base damage for Serration, extra base damage to multiply the devouring attrition values. We run extra Hellfire here, so we're running Corrosive Heat, and then we run Bane. If you don't want to run Bane here, if you're going to do like Cascade level cap or something with this, you could just put like the Magnetic mod here, Magnetic Might or whatever it's called would be fantastic here to help with the Overguard. Totally fine, so you guys can pick and choose how you want to go about that. Now, I'll show you guys this one real fast. Now, this is the one that really is just like, you know, you look at the enemy and you're going to do a ton of single target damage to them. I'm not going to buff the weapon at all. Maybe I'll prime it and show you guys with the primer. But pretty much this is the way this one looks. You can see how we pretty much have like no recoil with Deadhead. Really, really nice. And you can see it's like another one of those weapons. Like it shoots like this, but you can just 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, get the headshot. You can even 1 if you get the heat proc. Let it tick down. It's really, really solid. And then, like I said, the devouring attrition buff is multiplicative, but we're running aptitude on here, so we can get a ton of base damage by priming, and then the multiplicative damage to do stuff like that. Just really, really high damage numbers. Really, really solid gun. So for you guys who are new players out there and you're looking for stuff like this weapon, you can check out my video on the Latum 2. These weapons are just extremely strong. Once you finish the Zariman questline, you can get your hands on them. They're really, really powerful. I can't recommend them enough to like newer players who play the game. So yeah, let me know if you guys liked the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.